Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our program webinar this morning or this afternoon if you're on the East Coast, with an update on educating design professional programs in 2026. We're going to take a look at what happened in 2025 and what's to come this year. So I am Erin Heidecker. I'm with Clutch, leading the marketing efforts for Beauty at Block and also working on the Block Learning Hub. I'm also joined today by Heidi Jandris, who you may know as the Carbon Queen and Content Extraordinaire, who will walk us through the content development process for the Block Learning Hub, as well as what's up on the hub and what's still coming yet out of our 2025 program. We also have Bayard Stevens with us from Oldcastle, who is leading the Education Task Group in Region 2. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, please note them in the Q&A section, and we'll be sure to address them at the end of the presentation. So with that, we will get started. So as we get started today, we'll take a look at the National Block Learning Hub, highlighting progress from 2025. So in April of 2025, we launched the first concrete masonry focused learning hub, which offers free courses on all things concrete masonry. So each course is free to take and are all accredited through our AIA education partnership. So these courses cover everything from the basics to updates on TMS 402, 602, with the overall goal to educate the design community and others on how to build efficiently and effectively with block. So on your screen, there is a QR code in case you haven't checked this out and you have your phone handy. You can check this out and take a look. But this is free to access, free to register, and we encourage you to check it out and see all the things that the hub has to offer. So looking at 2025 accomplishments and milestones, the hub has gained over 1,000 users across architects, engineers, contractors, and producers like yourselves. So these courses are designed with decision makers in mind, and we encourage both newcomers and industry professionals to take the courses to really help expand their knowledge on all the ways to use concrete masonry in projects from industrial to residential. There's really nothing block can't do. And that's really what we want to highlight through these courses to get this education out into the design community. So looking at live webinars that were hosted last year, we had 7 live webinars. All were accredited courses with certificates provided for self-reported PDH submissions. So also keeping, all of our audiences in mind who are getting this education. And they were hosted by industry professionals like Heidi Jandris, who's on the call today, others like Phil Ledent, Richard Bennett, and the team of technical directors with the Block Design Collective. So want to get a lot of these subject matter expert voices out there to this community to start recognizing, some of the more subject matter experts in the field. So to fill the hub with the CMU content, we've completed 16 architect-focused courses that are now available for viewing, with many more in process to be ready here in Q1 of 2026. So this is something that will continue being built out. This wasn't just a 2025 process. We built it out and started building in 2025, but we'll continue building into 2026 as well. Along with this content, we are also working on some engineer-focused courses that are a bit more technical and take that deeper look into concrete masonry, which will also be available soon to review on the hub, and then will also be presented at some live opportunities. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Heidi to discuss the content development process for the hub.
All right. Hey, Erin, thanks. So I have 2 slides that I'm going to go through here. The first is what we're calling decision maker content, which is really, for the most part, architect facing, or it could be geared towards GCs or design build. And it's really, the modules at the top are what we're calling our basics or our core performance series. And what it is it's meant to be a series of presentations that kind of at a very high level touch on all of the topics that, a designer would need to know about, at a very high level. So we have our, the first one is just, the basics, the five S's: style, saving, sustainability, safety, and strength. And then we get a little more into, some detailing and some kind of some core performance issues like ASTM 90, but not so much the whole of ASTM 90, but what a designer needs to know about it to do their designs. So it's really got that, architect facing kind of messaging to it. We've got our how it's made, type of walls, how to put them all together, and then a very brief intro to efficient structural design and how that relates to cost and carbon. So all of these are really trying to not only bring the content, but also put a message behind it that we want to get out to designers. We have our architectural CMU broken up into, we have cavity walls topics, which covers, things from coatings and shelf angles to, energy code compliance and sample panels to single wide, right? So there's a lot more, there's different things that a designer needs to know if they're doing cavity walls versus single wide. And then last, we've got smart applications. So this one covers, a lot of the common applications for concrete masonry, and also some structural basics. And then below this, we have I suppose what we would call a deeper dive. So we've got our resiliency. We've got one that's called special topics, which focuses on how, really about climate response. So it focuses on inherent resiliency, energy efficiency, and embodied carbon, and how those three come together. And how concrete masonry performs exceptionally well with all of them. We've got our embodied carbon series, broader sustainability, which focuses on sourcing and manufacturing and circular economy, energy efficiency, efficient design, and then why masonry, why now? Next slide. So for our engineering facing content, we've got many, many programs coming. These are currently just getting finished up. We've had several different folks developing this content from we've had Phil Ledent do a few, Tino from the Block Design Collective's done a few, also Dick Bennett, and then we've also got Sam Rabenza working on several of these. So these are all that will be completed. If they're not already up, they'll be completed very shortly and are currently going through the final stages of technical review. All right, off to you, Erin.
Thank you, Heidi. So in case you haven't checked out the hub yet, here's just a quick preview of what's been built and what we're continuing to adapt based on our learner needs. So the hub, as I said, offers both on-demand courses. We also have monthly live learning opportunities to really give them multiple options on gaining their continuing education credits. So when you enroll in a course, all of them will be shown in My Learning here. So if you have to step away from the course, you're able to come back and pick up where you left off. And when a course is completed, all are followed by a 10-question quiz that was built based on the presentation and the speaker notes that must be passed in order to receive a certificate. So all of these courses follow the AIA guidelines of 50 minutes of learning and the proficiency quiz at the end in order to receive the one LU or learning unit that is associated with each program. So this just gives you a look at how you can walk through the courses. And then up at the top, there's also a piece that is the catalog. So this is where you'll find all the courses that are offered along with the live learning registration links. So each course shows the learning level, it shows the description and learning objectives, really helping learners to decide which courses are right for them and what's going to be within each 1 hour course. And then also with each of these, we do have a survey at the end for learners to add comments to help us learn and adapt for future courses and offerings. So they can comment, this was really great. I really appreciated the content, or I'd like to hear more on XYZ. So as we're getting in that feedback, we are able to, add more content to our library and start building out some more content that people are looking for. So again, as I mentioned, there's really this dual path to learning. So really helping to meet people where they're at in their learning journey on their time. So on-demand courses allow learners to take courses anytime, anywhere. And the Block Learning Hub team then processes the AIA credits within 10 days of course completion. So allowing AIA members to go in and view the courses completed in their portal. And then we also have our live webinars. So these really allow learners to join a specific hosted time, like right now, which does not require the 10-question quiz with this one. Instead, learners have the opportunity to ask the presenter questions live at the end of each course. So the subject matter expert will be on live, and then we'll address all those questions. If we go over the hour mark, we are able to follow up with them as well. So these webinars have been going for 2025, and these will continue into 2026 with expanded subject matter expert content and hosting, as well as expanded topics to really continue diving deeper to expand their CMU IQ. So in order to get users to the hub, we obviously need something to drive them to our website, to the hub, let them know that these are all free to take. They're free CEUs that they're going to gain. So we had advertising where our target audience was looking. So in 2025, both the launch in April and the ongoing promotion was supported through the National Beauty of Block Marketing campaign and paid media partnerships with AIA, Architectural Record, and Architect Magazine all had supporting messages driving users to the hub. Then also as part of the marketing campaign, we had 6 sponsored webinars with these 3 different publications. So we were able to get in front of an expanded audience there to drive more traffic to the hub with the call out to, continue your education with us through the Learning Hub, really building up our database for future educational opportunities. And then my last note is, if you're interested in presenting one of our courses, we have a Train the Trainer course available on the Block Learning Hub. So with this, it's really a step-by-step course that walks you through how to become a presenter, how to present the course according to AIA guidelines, along with the proficiency course. Quiz. So you'll be taking this course, take a little quiz to make sure that you're feeling really good about presenting in front of others. And then once all of that is completed, our team will get the presentation to you along with speaker notes and any reference material or resources that are available. And then you get to present the course on your time. And once that is presented, our team will actually process the credits through AIA once the AIA numbers are provided. So we will process their credits and provide certificates for attendees that would like to self-report. So everyone gets a certificate. For anyone that provides their AIA number, they will get their credit. There's a lot to explore with this. So if you'd like to learn more or get enrolled in this course, at the bottom we noted, please reach out to learn@beautyofblock.com, and we are happy to get you signed up. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Bayard Stevens for an update on education in Region 2.
Hello, my name is Bayard Stevens. I am the task group lead for the Educating Design Professionals. I'd like to give you an update on what we did in the year 2025. So as we update for 2025, what we did in the fourth quarter, a list of events. We participated in the AIA Alabama Annual Conference in Perdido Beach, Alabama. Also participated in an event in Virginia at ArtChex 2025 in Richmond. Several different virtual programs we had. One with Heidi Jandris doing the Beauty of Block Carbon Series 1 and 2. And Danielle Morcus, our new Region 2 Technical Director, did the same Carbon Series 1 program virtually for the Procrastinators program for AIA Virginia. And Chris Bettinger, the last one we did was Masonry versus the Storm, a virtual program. Went really well. In the fourth quarter of 2025, we reached over 1,300 AIA members in Region 2. Issued 924 HSW learning units, 798 virtual attendees for the Florida Fall Hot Topics. That was an amazing program. that Chris Bettinger helped us out on there. It was very well attended, as you can see, our best one ever. Over 5,200 contact hours in the fourth quarter, 924 HSWs were issued, and 8 presentations. That was 3 live and 5 virtual. We've got some other upcoming events coming in the first portion of 2026 here. The CSI Southeast region, they're holding their annual conference in Miami Beach, April 21 through 24. The AIA Summer School, again, in May of 26, and the Aspire program for AIA North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia in September of this year. So as we look back at 2025, I just wanted to touch on all of the things that we were able to get done. As I mentioned, we were asked to come back to AIA North Carolina Summer School. Last year we did it in Charlotte, Raleigh, and Greenville. 2026 will be in Asheville, Charlotte, and Raleigh. Some really great webinars that we did. One, we kicked it off with Derek Hodgins, his top 10 alleged construction defects. We also had the opportunity to participate in the AIA Florida Trade Show and Convention. Did a really great multifamily presentation there. Chris Bettinger helped us out with job site masonry best practices. Tina Sabasic with changes to TMS 402, 602, another really great program. And Steve Bly, a retired architect, did his presentation on what every architect should know about masonry. He did that for us 2 times, once in Alabama and once in Virginia. As I mentioned before as well, Heidi Jandris did both of her CMU embodied carbon programs, again with Steve Bly in Virginia. Chris did his masonry versus the storm, and Heidi again did phase 2 of the carbon programs. We were able to participate in the AIA Hot Topics webinar and rounded it up with the Virginia AIA presentations for the Procrastinator series. That's where Danielle helped us out. She's going to be a really great asset to our programming and all programming in Region 2. So as we wrap up for the year, in 2025, we had 14 live events, 8 webinar events, issued over 1,100 CEUs, PDHs, and as I mentioned before, 5,200 plus contact hours. We exceeded our goal for the live events. We expected to only do 4 of them, but we were able to do many more than that, and we were right on target for our 8 webinars that we had planned to do. So enough about 2025. What are we doing in 2026? Well, coming up next week, Chris Bettinger is going to help us out with a webinar, Masonry Job Site Practices, followed up in the first part of March with another webinar by Walt Schneider. He's a PhD structural engineer, fire official, building code official. He has put together a really great program on fundamentals of balanced design for fire safe construction. That'll be one you don't want to miss. And in the end of April, we've got a hands-on event planned for AIA Florida in Pensacola. We're going to have a couple more around the state for those hands-on programs as well. We just don't have dates for those as yet. And I mentioned before in May, the AIA Summer School in Asheville, Charlotte, and Raleigh. And then after that, we come into the quarters 3 and 4. For 2026, we've got some proposed programs going right now. Head back to AIA Florida with a booth, some hands-on possibly, and a game show type of a format. We'll be at AIA Tennessee in Nashville in September. And I said this before with AIA, the Aspire program in Asheville. We're looking at the Climate Symposium sponsorship to have a speaker and some really great exposure there for our industry. Back to AIA Alabama and Virginia for their annual conferences with speakers, and we'll have some trade show booth opportunities as well. And rounding it out for December, which seems like a long time coming up, but it will be here before we know it, the AIA Florida Fall Hot Topics. We'll have speakers and some more hands-on events there. I know that was a lot to digest. We got a lot done. We look forward to doing a lot more. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you for that update, Bayard. We'll adjourn a little early, but we really appreciate you joining us for this webinar and stay tuned for the next program webinar coming up in March. Thank you all and have a great day.